Welcome back, guys. It's Shelby, and I wanted to share some of the highlights of my New York trip with you. So we're just gonna jump right into it. This is the metro, subway, whatever you want to call it. It took us absolutely everywhere, but we also walked a whole lot too. This was my first day in the city, and it is massive and beautiful. Oh my God, I seriously cannot even believe how big the buildings are. And there were little food carts on every corner, so if you ever got hungry or thirsty, down Fifth Avenue. We definitely wanted to basically just reenact as many kitschy things as we possibly could. So we took our coffee and our breakfast down to Tiffany's to have breakfast in front of Tiffany's because, you know, you're in New York and why not? Also, we went inside. Look at this. Then it was off to Central Park. Beautiful weather, actually. It was supposed to rain the whole time, and it was gorgeous and sunny and warm. So this is kind of really cool because I've only seen Central Park in movies, and they had a bunch of things in there I didn't even know about, like a zoo and just really cool things, giant buildings in there that were like basically completely hidden, and a dinosaur, which I actually freaked out over like a child because I love dinosaurs, as you guys know. And at first I didn't realize that it moved and it opened its mouth and it blinked, and I was just absolutely obsessed and made my friends take like a million pictures of me with the dinosaur because it was so cool. I didn't see a T-Rex, but this was still awesome. So we spent hours in Central Park, and we didn't even hit up everything that there is, but there was these really cool structures. So just like down the stairs into this like gorgeous little tunnel thing with really cool ceilings and like murals and columns, and it was awesome. And you go through that to get to the fountain. But like I said, gorgeous day, sunny, bright, and even though it's super packed with people, like this place is massive and you have tons of room to move in. Like a little lake to row your boats. This I was super excited about. So these are the little boats that you see in all the movies in Central Park. So cool.
I wanted to see the boats, but I wasn't convinced they were actually in Central Park and they weren't just like something from a movie, so this is exciting.
Then it was off to Chinatown. They had lots of little things in the windows, but honestly not even as much as I was thinking, but they did have tons of little sparkly things, which you know I have to stop and look at because they're just pretty and shiny and gold, so of course, why not? From there, it's just a relatively short walk to the Brooklyn Bridge. You have to walk around to get up on top, but we definitely wanted to walk the whole length of it. Amazing views of the city on all sides. Really incredible architecture. One of my favorite pictures from this trip is right here in black and white. Great skyline of the city, and I even got to see the Statue of Liberty. This is actually the only place I saw it on this whole trip, but it's awesome. Next day, we started with official New York Bagels, which honestly are like so far beyond anything I've ever had from the West Coast and Midwest. Just like what you put on them is crazy. So I was thinking like different types of cream cheese, really. No, like I got a caprese bagel and it was absolutely fantastic with like sun-dried roasted tomatoes. Oh, so good. I had 2 of them on this trip and I could seriously eat another. Editing this has made me so hungry for another one. Absolutely delicious. Definitely check out all the different varieties when you're there. So that is the ball from 2019. They leave it up all year, which is super exciting, and I didn't actually know that. But I am in Times Square right now, which is something that I wanted to do twice. I wanted to go once during the day and once at night, just to kind of see the difference because, like, you know, the lights are going to show at night, but it always looks so bright and just beautiful and full of life in all the movies. So I wanted to check it out and see how it was and see how crowded it was. And honestly, it was great.
My coffee, walking through Times Square.
So in the movies, it's always really crowded with people like jostling into people and bumping into people. And even though there were a ton of people there, like nobody ever bumped into us. I have a ton of room. I mean, there's people around, but as you can see, it's not even at all claustrophobic. So totally great. Also, we had a second reason for going to Times Square was to pick up tickets for a Broadway show, and they actually had one of my absolute favorite shows playing, which is Kiss Me Kate, and we got tickets to that, so I was so excited we got to see it.
All right, ladies, 3 in your seat. Kiss Me Kate today, 3 o'clock. Have a great time.
Thank you.
We had a few hours to kill before the play, so we decided to hit up a few more landmarks, starting with Grand Central Station and checking out the Zodiac mural on the ceiling, and it did not disappoint. It doesn't even show up as well on camera, so I'm sorry about that, but it was kind of bright gold on this like beautiful pale bluish green with lights coming down, and just like, I don't know, the architecture was really cool. They had these amazing chandeliers, like these old style, like departure signs. It was awesome. It was a super cool place. Next up, we hit up the public library, and it was just starting to drizzle, but it was still holding out pretty well. Check out this super majestic lion. Awesome. So I knew I wanted to see the library, but didn't actually know what the inside looked like. And this is stunning. This is basically the hallway right when you walk in. I mean, look at this. Absolutely gorgeous. They've got a couple different sections. So we started downstairs in the children's library where they have the original little Winnie the Pooh and friends. So cute, and just a little display to be around. The hallways and staircase going up just look like something out of Hogwarts. Absolutely stunning. The second floor was closed, so we went up to the third floor. Amazing, beautiful, just ceiling high paintings, painting on the ceiling, just gorgeous woodwork. The whole thing is just stunning. Then we went through to the card catalog room, and look at this. It's just, oh my God, the magnificence of it. The ceiling, I want that ceiling. It's gorgeous. Chandeliers, and there's actually like little offices off to the side, like little cubicles. I could not even imagine this being my office. It would just be absolutely amazing. Then we went through to the actual library with, I guess, more books and more people. There was a side for like studying and using the library, and then like a separate side for tourists, which I thought was pretty cool. Kind of surprised there aren't more books, but absolutely gorgeous. Then it was time to go see the play, which was in the old Studio 54 space, which was really cool. They still had the disco ball. Obviously, I can't film inside past the lobby, but this is the ball, and it was pretty cool. And they still had the doors, or I guess maybe they added them, but they said Studio 54, and it was really neat. After the play, we wanted to check out some authentic New York pizza, so we hit up Ray's Pizza, and it was delicious. Tons of options. I ended up with this beauty right here, which was basically the size of my head. So delicious. The dough is a little bit different than like on the West Coast, but absolutely totally worth it. After pizza, we hit up this great rooftop area at the Knickerbocker with an awesome view of the ball, which is the start of Times Square, which led us right back into Times Square for the nighttime viewing because I wanted to see both. Much brighter than during the day, which I'm very excited about. Still not as many people as I was expecting, which is kind of a good thing, but here is kind of a 360 view of what you're looking at a night in Times Square. So yeah, still really bright, buzzing with energy, but not overly packed, overly crowded. I mean, there are a ton of people here, but there's room to move, to breathe, to walk around. Like, it's really not at all bad. Then we headed outside of the city to this awesome restaurant called, I think, Maiella. That's how you say it. And they like literally cooked in Parmesan. It was awesome. They just set the whole cheese on fire. It was the coolest thing. That's what I was eating. And here is my fabulous dessert. I can't pass up a creme brulee, and I have to crack it. There we go. But what makes this restaurant super special is just outside is the actual best view of the city. There you have the bridge, and across the water. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. We seriously sat here for like almost an hour. Just gorgeous. Like, couldn't get enough of it. So this is basically the exact same view I just showed you. I took like a million of these, but this one I had like the light receptor thing turned down on my camera more. So it's just kind of like a different view. It's like darker, but you can see the lights a little bit more clearly and reflecting off the water. And like I said, this is probably the best view of the city in my opinion, because you can see it. But yeah, it was awesome. I would definitely suggest checking this out. Like, the view alone is totally worth it. Unfortunately, even amazing things must come to an end, and it was our very last day in New York. And it downpoured. Oh man, was it raining. So we decided to do an inside day at a museum, and where better than the Met? This place is awesome. It's massive. It's got all these amazing different exhibits. This was a really cool piece. It was all tile. So it was a fountain, but like the tile work was incredible. It almost looked like a painting, which is what I thought it was initially when I came up on it, like across the room. But it's got mirrors in there, and just with the way it's lit and everything, it's absolutely stunning. And then upstairs in the America exhibit, they have all these really cool just rows and rows and aisles of items from the early days in America, like household goods, things that were brought over, bedposts, pictures, doorknobs, lanterns. They had everything. You could seriously spend days, if not weeks, just combing through everything. Like, look at these plates. I did not spend enough time. I absolutely did not see even a thimbleful of what the Met had because I was only there for a day, but absolutely incredible. Look at this, aisles and this part of the museum is a different layout than the other parts. They do have the more traditional museum spaces with pictures and statues and other things. This is like kind of the only place I saw. Admittedly, I did not see very much of it that had everything kind of packed in so tightly. And because of that, I felt like I couldn't even see it all, but for the most part, it was your typical museum space with the paintings and sculptures laid out in a format that you can definitely see. It was a great way to spend our last day because most of the areas have ceilings that are glass and you could just see how rainy it was outside. So definitely thankful to be inside and warm and dry and just looking at all these beautiful items. So wonderful way to spend the last day of New York, the best trip I've been on in a really long time. And I definitely want to go back because I only saw like maybe half of the things on my list, but we were moving. Oh my gosh, my legs hurt so bad. We were walking like crazy. So next time I go back, I'm definitely going to hit up the rest of the items on my list, like the Chrysler Building and the Empire State Building, and actually going out to the Statue of Liberty because the city's so big, like you just don't have time. So this is a really cool piece. This is like a laurel leaf headgear from ancient Greece, and it's all like pounded gold filigree. It's amazing. So anyway, back to my rant about how big the city is and how amazing it is and how I can't wait to go back. Yeah, just the coolest thing ever, the best trip. I can't wait to go back. If you like the video, let me know by hitting that thumbs up. Let me know what you think down in the comments. Thanks so much for watching, and bye for now.